Okay, I'm in the Festool Museum right now where they have some of the old original tools under the brand Festo. I've got to show you some of these things. Right here, they've got one of the old school chain mortisers and another even bigger one. And you can see over here, the original logo was Festo. And then another even bigger one. You saw me use one of these in Jack Forsberg's shop. It was an even bigger one. But basically you've got this chainsaw right here and then you pull down and it will cut all your mortises. And then you adjust with this knob right here. And they've got here what looks like a four-sided planer molder. And then you'll know I love this one. This is one of their old school radial arm saws. And then here's another one with a bit bigger blade. And then an even bigger one with a bigger blade. I wish they actually made these still. I would love to get one of these in my shop. And then here's a double-sided tenon. So here is kind of an overhead router that they use for making stair treads and for mortising in where the stair treads would go. You can adjust the router up and down here and then side to side with the knob back here. Okay, we're gonna plug it in and show you how it works. And look at the size of that bit right here.
How do you call it?
Oh wow, that's basically a spindle rod.
And here's one of the old school table saws. Here they have one of the shapers and an old school bandsaw. Okay, now look here. You can see on the bottom are some of the newer ones, and obviously the top are some of the old circular saws and plunge saws. All the different variations of the saws over the years. So this is the size of the TS55. And then you have this giant monster. I mean, you had to have some serious forearms and strength to handle these things back in the day. And here are a bunch of the different versions of sanders they've had over the years. And this here is one of the very first Festool dust extractors, along with some of the other models that came out over the years. And then more orbital sanders and belt sanders. And then here's a table with a bunch of the different routers, from some of the very early versions to the modern ones. And on these modern ones, they have a bunch of the tools where they've cut away the outside of the tool so you can see inside how the motors and the wires and all the different gears and stuff work. And here we've got one of the original carpentry chainsaws. And here's one of the handheld portable mortising machines. I wish they made this one as well still. And here they have a giant planer. I mean, this thing must weigh about 100 pounds. You have to have some serious strength to hold on to that thing all day long. And here must have been one of the very early versions of the track saw. And in this case, it actually ran down some bearings on top of the track, which makes it very smooth sliding. And here we have some of the very first tools that Festool ever made, which were actually giant chainsaws. I mean, look how massive these things are. There's two handles on this side with the throttle, which you probably had one guy on this side holding the engine side, and then this long blade, and then a second handle on the back side that the second guy would hold on to, which also looks like they had an oiler container right here. And then you'd have two men holding onto it, trying to cut through giant logs. And then check out this big thing. It's a giant groover. It has like this massive shaper blade on it, and then you can go and cut grooves at any angle you need. Probably also weighs a few pounds. So look at this giant spindle molder thing here. Got a little clamp where you hold down your piece, and then inside they've got these giant cutter heads that will cut out these shapes on your posts. And then here's another one, sort of same idea. It's got these clamps that'll hold it down, and this is for cutting box joints, and they've just got stacks of these cutters inside so that you can cut these box joints. It's very cool that Festool has this one part of their shop that's dedicated to the history of all their old tools. And you can see the innovation throughout the years and the progress they've made on their tools up until the ones we now see today.